Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're not just going to look at a GCSE computer science exam question, we're going to tear it down piece by piece and show you exactly how to build an algorithm that nails those full marks every single time.
All right, let's get into it. We'll kick things off by figuring out what the question really wants. Then, we'll sketch out a game plan. After that, we'll build the solution line by line. Then, the important part, we'll see how the examiners actually mark it. And we'll wrap up with the big ideas you can use anywhere.
Okay, first up, let's get our eyes on the actual question, straight from the official OCR exam paper. What exactly are they asking us to do here?
So, this is the one, question 9F. The whole setup is a sports day, right? And our job is to cook up an algorithm that can, keep taking in team names and scores until it's told to stop, and then figure out who the ultimate winner is.
The best way to tackle this is to break it down into a simple checklist. What does our algorithm have to do? Well, first, it's got to get user input, and it has to do it over and over. Second, it needs a way to stop. Third, and this is key, it has to keep track of two things: the highest score so far and the name of the team who got it. And finally, once it's all over, it has to spit out the result.
Right, before a single line of code gets written, any good programmer worth their salt has a plan. Think of it like a blueprint for our logic. So let's map ours out.
So here's the game plan, step by step. We start by getting our variables ready. Then we jump into a loop that keeps asking for data. Inside that loop, we make a decision. And once that loop finally finishes, we show the final answer. Simple, clear, and makes perfect sense.
Okay, now for the really fun part. Let's turn that plan into an actual algorithm. And check this out. We're going to use a solution straight from the official mark scheme so you can see exactly what a top marks answer looks like. First thing we do is create a variable. We'll call it high score. And we set its starting value, we initialize it, to 0. Now why 0? Well, think about it. Any real score is going to be higher than that, right? So it gives us this perfect, solid baseline to start comparing against. Next, we build our loop. This while loop is what we call indefinite iteration. It has no idea if they're going to be 3 teams or a 30. All it knows is keep on running as long as the team name isn't that special keyword, stop.
And inside that loop, job number 1 is to grab the data. We ask the user for 2 things separately, the team's name and then their score. And we pop each one into its own variable.
Okay, this next bit, this is the brain of the whole operation. It's a simple if statement, and it just asks one question. Is this new score we just got bigger than the current high score we're holding on to?
And if the answer is yep, it is, well, we've got a new leader. So we immediately do 2 things. We overwrite the old high score with this new one, and, crucially, we update the high team variable to store the name of this new top team. Then we just close off our if statement and our while loop, and what happens now? The program zips right back to the top of the while loop, ready to ask for the next team and do the whole thing all over again.
But what happens when someone finally types stop? Well, that while condition is now false, so the loop breaks. The program skips past it and runs the very next lines of code, which in our case are the print statements. It just spits out the final high score and high team that it's been holding on to. And that's it. Job done.
So, we've got an algorithm that works, which is great. But how does that actually get you the marks? This, right here, is the most important part. Let's see exactly how this code ticks every single box on the examiner's checklist to get all 6 marks.
And this just lays it all out perfectly, doesn't it? Take a look. The mark scheme literally says input team name and score separately. Boom. Our 2 input lines do exactly that. It wants iteration until stop entered. Yep, our while loop nails it. It needs to find the highest score and the winning team name. Our if block takes care of both. And finally, outputs highest score and team name, our 2 print statements at the end, deliver. It's a 1-to-1 match, all the way down.
And because we followed that clear, logical structure, our algorithm hits every single one of those points. That is a guaranteed 6 out of 6, no question.
Okay, getting full marks is awesome, but let's zoom out for a second. The ideas we just used, they're like a master key for programming. This was never really just about one exam question.
And here's why this really matters. These are not just one-off tricks. They are fundamental programming patterns. Finding the biggest value in a list of things. Using a special word like stop to end a loop. Keeping track of 2 related bits of data together. You are going to use these tools over and over and over again in so many different programs.
So, I'll leave you with a final thought to chew on. Our algorithm is fantastic for finding a single winner. But what if there's a tie? What if two teams get the exact same high score? How would you have to change the logic to handle that? Give that some thought. Because figuring that out, well, that's how you go from being a good programmer to being a great one.